to welcome Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and a nominee of Mr. President for the office of Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Senate had to bend backwards to accommodate you. At the time, we did not, yesterday we could have taken you, but we did not have the requisite clearance. So we were able to get, you had done your fingerprinting with the police, and they are giving you clearance that you have no criminal record. So we now had to wait for the Directorate of State Security to complete their work, and their report came in late yesterday. So we said, let us do you the favor of bending backwards to accommodate you so you can go and fill the position and start offering services to the nation. I know that outside this country it's not easy to pay a senior advocate of Nigeria. The Queen's Council, they pay thousands of pounds per hour. So we didn't want you to wait for too long before going to your new office so that you will not charge the Senate. So please, you can, I also welcome your dear wife, I'm sure. Did you bring your wife? Okay, so that was not heard. So, but at least I congratulate your family for this elevation in advance if you are cleared by the Senate. So please, you may step forward and answer a few questions from distinguished colleagues. So then yourself, and then thereafter you take a few questions from our colleagues. You're welcome.
Your Excellency, the President of the Senate and Chairman of the National Assembly, distinguished Senator Goswell Obot Akpabio, GCON. Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Senate, distinguished Senator Barao Ibrahim Jibrin. Principal officers of the Nigerian Senate, distinguished senators, the Special Advisor to the President Federal Republic of Nigeria, distinguished Senator Bashir Lado, CON. Your Excellency, first let me thank the Senate very profusely for the favor that I found before this distinguished Senate, bending backwards to accommodate my screening today. That I do not take for granted at all. Not just my family, but Enugu State of Nigeria, the government and the good people, and also the governor. And I know also that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is delighted that you've bent backwards to accommodate me. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu, SAN. I hail from Enugu State of Nigeria. My hometown is Ozala in Nkanu West local government area. I'm a lawyer by profession, an academician, a researcher, public finance management expert. I'm a notary public, and I'm also a public servant. Your Excellency, I am married to Barrister Mrs. Chinagolum Tochude, who incidentally is not here because this was very sudden, because national duty called. I was to be in court today representing Enugu State of Nigeria in a matter at the Federal High Court as the Attorney General, Commissioner for Justice, Enugu State. And behold, I was called to to answer another national call. And the importance of that is not lost on me. So my wife is yet to arrive. So I have 3 children. I attended College of the Immaculate Conception, CIC, Enugu. First, before that, my primary school education was Army Children's School, Okonano, Enugu. After my secondary school education, I proceeded and graduated from University of Nigeria, Faculty of Law. After that, I proceeded to National Youth Service, where I was posted to Adamawa State. I served in Tongo Local Government Secretariat as the head legal, because Tongo requested that I be posted there to set up the legal unit. After that, I proceeded to do my Master of Laws at University of Nottingham, United Kingdom, specializing in public international law. Then after that, I also earned a Doctor of Laws from Stellenbosch University, South Africa. The Chairman, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, distinguished senators, I have other academic attainment, but for the want of time, I'll skip that and go to my employment records. I founded TK Udeh and Associates, a law and consultancy firm where I started practice from year 2007 till I was invited to serve in the government of Enugu State. I also combined that, because of my love for academics, combined that with teaching. So I taught in Bayes University, Abuja, taught in the Nigerian Law School, and also taught in University of Nigeria, where I actually taught pro bono. So I taught without getting paid for most of my stint in University of Nigeria, because I was giving back to my alma mater. Let me not forget that I didn't drop from heaven. I have parents. So let me give honor to my parents. So my dad, still alive, and my mom. Father, Honorable Justice Kingsley Udeh, retired, and Reverend Mrs. Udeh. They gave me the best of home training. So I must recognize them today. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, distinguished senators, I served in the government of Enugu State, first as Senior Special Assistant, Development Aid, Coordination and Mobilization, after which His Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, deemed it fit to elevate me to Special Advisor on Education. And then afterwards, I was also elevated to Commissioner for Rural Development. And the government of Enugu State and the people felt that I had performed creditably, and based on my background in law and governance, His Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Ndubi Simba Esquire, the performing governor of Enugu State, appointed me in his wisdom to serve as the Honorable Attorney General Commissioner for Justice, Enugu State, where I've been serving from August 14, 2023 to date, until this national assignment came. And that's what I am responding to. And finally, I would say that I will not forget this statement. It is value that I would bring. Value imparted on me by years of working across Nigeria, across the globe, working with inspirational leaders like Governor Peter Ndubi Simba, even the former governor of Enugu State, Right Honorable Ifeanyi Lawrence Ugwuanyi, and other leaders across Nigeria that have worked on that have mentored me. So may please the Senate to graciously clear me for this national assignment, and I'll make you people proud. Thank you very much.
Very excellent resume. And a young man who believes in giving back to the society what the society has impacted in him. I join you to commend your parents for your excellent training, which has brought you this dignified recognition and elevation. For me, as your in-law from Enugu State, I can only say to God be the glory that finally Mr. President has been able to get somebody that has your stature. And from your resume, a very young man at that. So I will allow two major questions. One will be from a distinguished principal officer of the Senate from Enugu State, Senator Sitangu, in whom we are very well pleased. And the second will be from the youngest senator in the Senate. I don't know whether you are younger than him or he's younger than you. The distinguished Senator Asuku Ekpeyang. You can see this is another product of youthfulness. So while you are heading the Young Parliamentarians Forum, you will be heading the Young Ministers Forum. So the two of you are doing well. Distinguished Senator Sitangu.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak about my brother, Dr. Kingsley, Tochukwu, Udeh. Let me start by thanking the President of the Federal Republic, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for finding my brother and friend worthy to be nominated as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I can actually commend the President for his patience, his eye for good quality. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I've known Barrister Udeh for 35 years. During our time in the prestigious College of the Immaculate Conception, CLC Enugu, we were in the same secondary school. So I can attest, somebody I've known for 35 years, I can attest to his competence, his credibility. He is somebody that is a workaholic, a goal-getter, and I'm sure this government, this country, will have a great joy having him as a minister. Mr. President, you can accept, everybody knows, it's a public knowledge, that Enugu State government, under Governor Peter Ndubisimba, is the fastest growing economy currently in Nigeria. Fastest growing. I didn't say the biggest economy.
The senator must confine himself to the topic.
I'm coming to the Excellency. You will understand where I'm going.
We are not clearing Governor Pitamba. We are trying to clear Tochukwu Udeh.
You will understand where I'm coming from.
No, I don't want you to come from anywhere. Concentrate on this nominee. But don't bring in Peter, what we call Governor Pitamba. Otherwise, others will start questioning.
Mr. Nominee that is standing by us
ask him a question
is
as
a
your
member
friend
of Enugu State Executive Council,
yes,
holding a very key position.
Yes.
And by his competence, the state, he has contributed immensely. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, Attorney General of the state, can actually contribute to how a state could go. But if there are legal impediments, of course, we will be drawn back. But this young man, by his capacity and competence, has contributed to making sure that we are on the right direction. And it is the same value that is going to add to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have no doubt that the nominee will not just make Enugu State proud. The nominee will make Nigeria, by extension, very proud, irrespective of any portfolio he is assigned to head. Mr. President, I won't ask him a question. I am only urging the Senate to please look at his competence. Mr. President, the CV is here. Too many doctorate degrees, too many positions held, performed perfectly. Just by it, our people in Igbo will say, Afioma Neromwe. By what you see here, you can also already see, and even by his presentation, you know that the nominee will make you proud, and make the president proud, and make Nigeria proud. I so submit.
Please, because the minority whip. Thank you for your submission. The youngest senator of the Federal Republic.
Your Excellency, thank you very much. Presenting Cross River South, which is my primary constituency, and of course, my secondary constituency is the youth demographic. Mr. President, it's going to be hard for me to start off with a question without, first of all, eulogizing the nominee before us. This is a young man, and I have perused his CV, and I am indeed proud he has been nominated for this position. He, like me, has spent about 8 years, or 10 years before now, working at the subnational level in governance, helping in the development of the state, and at the age of 43, was appointed to the most, I think, sensitive portfolio in the cabinet, which is Attorney General, which is, we like to call it the first among equals in the commissioner ranking. He's done exemplarily well. He has a great record, a very fantastic track record. But I have seen that your focus has been in the legal arena. You have done and risen to the peak of your career being a senior advocate of Nigeria at a relatively young age. I want to ask you this, having a background that is deeply rooted in the legal aspect, how do you see yourself contributing to the cabinet of Mr. President, and what portfolio you think you would be best suited for? Thank you very much.
Abdul Nengi, and I represent Bauchi Central of Bauchi State. Mr. President, let me join you in welcoming Dr. Udeh to this hollow chamber. Yesterday, the minority whip was busy going about lobbying and telling us about his very good character. And today, from his CV, and especially what he said during his days as a NYC member in Adamawa, it gladdens my heart because he said he was in Tongo, a local government I know, and Binos, and the legal business that he set up gladdens my heart that this is a person that is truly a Nigerian. My question is, Dr. Udeh, the main issue in Nigeria today is the issue between Nigeria and the United States of America. That is the main current issue. Because of your versatility, if I ask you, what in your opinion is the way forward? Thank you.
Into commenting on Trump, on President Trump. Before you delve into commenting on President Trump, according to the question by Senator Nengi, because you are, of course, there's no question that you cannot answer. Senator Ojusakalo, add your question after that, Senator Alero. There's no question he cannot answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ojukalo. I represent Abia North. My own is not questioned. My own is to commend the young man because he has done very well. Senators should be proud for Nigerians like this. This man at 43 is Attorney General of Enugu State. We need not to be asking him questions because from his CV, what is here? What is here? Allow me to speak my opinion. That is your problem. What is here? There's no order. I'm in the right direction. Please allow me to speak my opinion. I'm confining myself. What is here? I'm speaking volume about this gentleman standing here. He is currently the Attorney General of Enugu State. That is a #1 commissioner in Enugu State. And we cannot joke with him. He's a senior advocate of Nigeria and a member of Inner Bar. He's a member of Inner Bar. When we see people, and this gentleman has come to the floor of the Senate to appreciate his father and mother. How many nominees have appreciated their father and mother? This is the first since I started being in this Senate. So I urge my colleagues to ask this gentleman to take a bow and go. Mr. President is waiting. Thank you, Mr. President.
Distinguished Senator Orju Sakalo is not somebody who talks anyhow. A very serious-minded legislator. And what you have just done almost brought tears to my eyes. Any child that can appreciate the mother, appreciate the father, is a child that will appreciate Nigeria. So I believe you were in order. So I rule you in of order. Senator Aliru.
Thank you, Mr. President, my distinguished colleagues. Let me join my colleagues and first of all commending Mr. President for appointing somebody very, very competent. And let me also commend the nominee for achieving academic excellence from what I have seen in CV. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I want to ask a question. And the question I want to ask is, there has been a clamor for over 20 years that the office of the Attorney General of the Federation should be separated so that there will be Attorney General for the Federation and Attorney General for federal government. I want to ask the nominee, what is his view? Because I could recall Enugu State is one of the states that is seriously pushing for the separation of the office of the Attorney General of the federal government and that of the Federation. And as far back as 2014, there was a national conference. And in that national conference, recommendations were made that the office of the Attorney General of the Federation should be separated. Yeah. If I say office of Attorney General, it includes the minister. The office of the Attorney General of the Federation or the minister of the Federation should be separated from that of the federal government and the Federation. So I want to know his view. And secondly, I look at his CV and all the attachment. I have not seen the slip from the Code of Conduct Bureau. And this is a constitutional requirement. I don't know whether it is an oversight that public officers should declare their assets before assumption of office. I'm sure in the next 2 or 3 days, once we finish this screening exercise, Mr. President will swear you in. And I want to know whether you have declared their asset. If you have not, it is very important you do that. That's my advice. Thank you, Mr. President.
I think the floor answered a very valuable question of Attorney General of the Federation and Attorney General of the federal government of Nigeria. Because the same glamour also goes to the office of Accountant General of the Federation and Accountant General for the federal government of Nigeria. People believe that the two should be separated. So that's I think those are very germane questions. The only one I would like you to dodge for now is commenting on Trump. Go on.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Senate. Thank you, distinguished Senator Alero, for drawing my attention to the asset declaration requirement. In the course of my public service, I've always declared my assets in line with the Constitution, and I've also undertaken that for this current national assignment. So thank you, sir. So on the issue of separation of offices, there are even arguments like the current constitutional review, ongoing constitutional review, and when the senators and House of Rep members visited Enugu, and the memo they presented about the areas that they're seeking constitutional review on, one of the areas was actually the separation of the office of the Attorney General from the office of the Minister of Justice, and the separation of the office of the Attorney General of State from the office of a Commissioner for Justice. Now, there are various arguments regarding for pro and for, or against and for. And all the arguments are certainly very reasonable. So some arguments for the separation will say that the Attorney General, being the chief law officer of the state, handles prosecution. If you look at the Constitution, discover that the major responsibility, constitutional responsibility of an Attorney General is prosecutorial powers. And so some members of the public have the concern that if the office of the Attorney General remains political, that there will be influence on the Attorney General in the prosecution of cases. Therefore, that it should be separated from the political arm of that office, which is the Minister for Justice and Commissioner of Justice. So, but I'll always say that it's better people experience the reality of the office to be better grounded in their argument and reasoning. I've been Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General for over 2 years. Incidentally, my dad served as Solicitor General of the state for several years before he went to the bench. So I know the workings of this office very well. Whether it is separated or fused, it depends on the personality of the individuals there. Of course, even if it's an Attorney General that is not political, even if it's within the civil service, and the person does not have character, there will still be influence. Will the person not be appointed by an individual? And it will still, the person that appoints will still have influence. So there's no institution of humanity that will not be subject to human flaws and frailties. So whether we choose to have them as one or separate them, they will still be subject to what every human being is subject to, the weaknesses of humans and the background and the personalities of the occupiers of the office. But one thing I can say is that I've served in the office of the Attorney General Commissioner for Justice with integrity, with the fear of God, creditably, and performing, knowing that justice is a matter that is divine. In handling it, one must fear God, and one must remember that if justice is miscarried, it can affect, deeper than the particular case that is before that particular office. So, Mr. President of the Senate, Senator Abdul Dengue had made a comment about the relationship of Nigeria and the United States. His Excellency, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is already responding very well to that issue, appointing of ambassadors and pushing for them to be mobilized immediately, because truly it's more of a matter of diplomacy than law. Finally, distinguished Senator Asokwo. Yes, Mr. President of the Senate, sir, we have the privilege of having a leader of the National Assembly, chairman of the National Assembly that is also a lawyer. He understands that law is quite very broad, very, very broad. So if you're a good lawyer, you should be able to fit in to any job description and do well, because there's law of every walk of life. But beyond that, beyond my strong background in law, I have very strong background in research and academics, very strong background in governance, many years of governance experience. As a public servant, I've held various offices, but beyond that, as a development expert, having worked with various international organizations and supporting government of the state, there's no state of the federation that I've not worked for, none. And worked in, either as a consultant for UNICEF, for UNDP, for DFID, and various other international organizations, spanning different walks of life. So it's not just been law practice and litigation. No, I've, by the grace of God, my experience, my career and professional stint have spanned across various facets of life. And this is what I would leverage to bring value to the renewed hope of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if the Senate approves that I serve in that capacity. Thank you, sir.
Senator Abaribe, point.
Abaribe, and I represent Abia South, Order 58-1. A senator may, rising in his place, claim to move that the question be now put. I so move.
Was very frugal in reading that order. Let me read the real order for you. It says, after a question has been proposed, a senator rising in his place may claim to move that the question be now put, and unless it shall appear to the chair that such motion is an abuse of the rules of the Senate, or an infringement of the rights of the minority, the motion that the question be now put shall be put forward, shall be put forthwith and decided without amendment or debate, notwithstanding that the mover had no opportunity to make his reply. Well, if it is not an infringement on the rights of the minorities, okay, Senator Larry.
Thank you very much, colleagues. My name is Kamarudin Olalero Yewume. I represent also West Territorial District of Osun State. Mr. President, I stand to second the motion moved by the...
It is a motion.
It's a motion.
Yes, it's a motion.
It's a motion.
Moved by Senator Abaribe. That the question should be put by the President. I so second.
The point of order raised by the distinguished Senator Abaribe is hereby sustained. And then no, we don't need a question. We don't need a question. We don't need a question. Yeah, even from the majority. And we are talking, okay. Well, Is it the view of the Senate that there is no minority infringement? Is it the view of the Senate that the nominee, being so versatile and being able to dodge the Trump question, be now allowed to take a bow? Those in support say aye, and those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nominee can now take a bow.
I move a motion that we should restore the sanctity of the chamber by suspending Order 12. And two, I move a motion that the chair Okay, Mr. President, I think I stopped by restoring the sanctity of the chamber.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President and the two colleagues, I rise to second the motion moved by Senate Leader that the sanctity of the Senate be restored. I so second.
The two colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that we here restore the sanctity of the Senate by expelling all strangers that accompany the nominee into the hallowed chambers. Those in support that the sanctity of the Senate be restored, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Distinguished colleagues, at the conclusion of the screening hearings, may I ask, would the Senate approve the nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is hereby approved. Leader of the Senate.
Mr. President, I stand to move a motion that the chair do revert back to plenary in order to report progress. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President,
The Senate, in the Committee of the Whole, considered the request of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, for the confirmation of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, for appointment as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The nominee answered questions from distinguished senators on a number of topical issues, and thereafter, the committee approved the nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is this a true reflection of what transpired at the committee of the whole? Distinguished colleagues, will the Senate confirm Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Those in favor say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is hereby confirmed as a Minister of the Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me thank Mr. President for the nomination of Dr. Kingsley Tochukwu Udeh, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. He appears to be a fit and proper person, highly educated and very cerebral, to work as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He has answered questions creditably, and then he has acquitted himself as a well-bred Nigerian child, acknowledging his parents and their contributions to his upbringing, and at the same time, showing excellence in various stations of life. I wish him luck in his new endeavor as a Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I hope he will bring his wealth of experience to add to the Federal Cabinet, to add value to the Federal Cabinet to ensure that Nigeria gets out of the current doldrum and then realize the hope, the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President. Congratulations to all my colleagues for their patience, for your questions, and in some cases, your eulogies for the young man. Congratulations. Leader of the Senate.